Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. Hey, cool gamer. I am in my daughter's closet. So before you start judging me, we made her closet into like a little study type thing because it's like a really big walk-in closet. So she has a whole setup in here, and when I get time this week, then I'm gonna go in and like take our some clothes out and put them in the hall closet. But it's a pretty cool setup. So um, thanks for joining me. Is everybody having a good Sunday? We have a ton. Punkette, is a lot of people on right now? Amber, I'm in. Hey, Rody Gale. Amber, I'm in the basement. Yes, I'm in the basement. I mean, close, like closet. It's kind of close. I mean, hey, Sandy. Hey, Pamela. So there is a ton to talk about tonight. Um, so we all know what's going on with Eliza Fletcher. All right, Punkette. Where to even start? So I'm working on a really detailed timeline. So this is what I have so far, just so we can see. Let me share it out. Yeah, Pamela. Yeah, no, this is actually my daughter's closet. We've turned it into a little study. It's really awesome. All right, hold on a second. So let me guys show you something. Let me show you what the Abstin family has for. Hold on. Why'd she put this fan? Okay, hold on. Can you guys hear me? Oops. All right. Well, I unplugged my screen and I don't know how to plug it back in, so we're just going to go without it for now. Here, so the Abstin family, here's what we got. This would be Cleotha. I don't, dude. Okay, let me tell you, Kathy Joe is like amazing, and she found this for me. And so this is his booking picture. Let me just tell you something. His name's Cleotha, and Punkette. They apparently they nickname him Pookie. Kathy Joe's like, okay, if anyone ever like steals me and their name is Pookie, like so this is Cleotha. What we know about him is he has been charged with kidnapping in relation to Liza and tampering with evidence in relation to Liza Fletcher. Now, Cleotha has quite the track record, and Cleotha was in prison. He went to prison in 2000 for kidnapping and attempted robbery of a lawyer by the name, I believe it was Kemper Daydun or something like that, a really high prominent Memphis attorney. Now, he got out of prison around in 2020, his sentence expired. He was actually sentenced to 24 years in prison, but got out in 2020. I would say probably due to COVID. A lot of prisons, including the ones in New York, let people out. So we have a longtime offender here, but that's not all. Let's take a look at Cleotha's brother, who was detained on, he was, let me see, who's this one? Oh, no, no, no. So I am trying to, y'all, figure out who, if this is his cousin or his brother, and I'm working on that. But this is a family member who is out right now of jail. His name is James, and I'm trying to figure out if it's a brother, cousin, whatever. I don't know. He actually is starting a trial in October 3rd of 2022 for a 2019 murder of, I believe, his ex-girlfriend. Are y'all hearing me? Because I can't see you talking, and you're usually, I feel like I might be talking to myself. But so that is James. And again, he is out. He posted, I guess, in 2019. So he is allegedly, okay. Allegedly, now I've heard two different things. I've heard he's in, I've heard he's out. I got to get in touch with Kathy Joe, who knows all this stuff, and see if she can determine if he's in or out. But I do know that he has a trial starting October 3rd for first degree murder. All right. So that's James. And then we have brother Mario. Nope. Brother Mario. Brother Mario is in on possession counts, possession of a firearm, and convicted felon in possession of a handgun. It also did say that he was, he obviously had it as attempt to like sell and some of that. So we've now got, three pretty prominent track records in the family. And I'm just saying, might not have this issue if he had remained in prison. But anyways, hey Beatlemaniac. So let's go over today. We've had the affidavit released for Cleotha. Who the heck? I'm just like, why name Cleotha? So I will say here's a couple things. I can't determine whether or not I feel that the husband is involved or this was a hire type job. I feel terrible for ever thinking it was him. If it's not true and he's not involved, but my issues with feeling this way, that it doesn't make sense, is it was right near, in fact, let's go to Google Earth. So it's right near University of Memphis, right? We're talking girls jogging all the time there. Okay, thanks, Pamela. All the time. So shut up, Punkette. He just randomly decides after being out of prison for 2 years that so at first I thought, well, maybe he's one of those felons that can't survive outside of jail, and so he has to do something to go back to jail. But it's just the timing of it all doesn't make sense. He stalked her out for 24 minutes before charging at her when she came around the corner. Um, it's not adding up. The timing of it is very weird to me. Now, that's not saying that it's not true, but it was a violent kidnapping. A couple other things too that I have on my timeline is he got her in the car and they sat in the parking lot for 4 minutes, because my issue is it says we'll read it. So we'll read it, but he violently charged charged her aggressively. It became very violent. He got her into the passenger seat. Well, so there's one of two things that could have, hey, Yvette, he either jumped in the passenger seat with her and climbed over to the driver's seat or something, because like I would think that he would have just, if he ran around to the front or front driver's seat, she would have gotten out unless he tied her up. But I don't know, like we haven't seen that video part of it. But so let's go over this affidavit. So Amber, that's what I'm going with, is now that says at this point brother Mario is Mario and Luigi is not being, tied at this point, but I don't know. I just think someone else was with him. So let's go to now. Also, the one point to make is there has been no factual evidence whatsoever that there's a nanny that's 22 years old. Like, I've seen nothing in regards to a nanny. First, let's go to Google Earth because I want to show you. Well, that's not Google Earth. Hold on. I clicked the wrong one. Because this is kind of cool to understand before we look at the affidavit, to understand how things played out. One thing that's interesting here is if you guys look on the way far side, over here is 800 Crossview Lane. And the reason I have that starred out, so y'all can know, is because that is actually where Miracle Cooper went missing from on September 1st. She was dropped off to school there, and she's 15 years old, and she never came home from school, and she's still missing. I have found almost no information on Miracle whatsoever. A lot of people have said she's a runaway. I don't know, but there are some interesting things that I do want to show you. Okay, so Miracle disappeared from here on September 4th. Right here, up here, we see 3800 Central Ave. Now, this is where the original kidnapping took place. the original jogging, all this stuff in the parking lot near University of Memphis. Hey, I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Hey, Molly Lollipops and Charlotte. So, yeah, the nanny is rumor, and yeah, like there's been no evidence of a nanny. So, I mean, I already think he might, like, I just feel bad pinning him down. I haven't even had any like evidence that there was a nanny. Okay. So, Miracle goes missing September 1st over here. September 3rd, Liza goes missing here. All right. Now, how do I get, oh, okay. So she goes missing here. They end up finding, a biker ends up finding his sandals, which leads them to tracking him down. We'll read about the affidavit to this over here, which is the lake. This is where they found the car, which was registered to Gwendolyn Brown, whose house he was at. And I guess he might live there with her. So that's where they found the car. Now, last night, we know that at McDonald's, they found it at McDonald's, and this was not far at all from the lakes. An employee called in and had found her clothing in the dumpster that matched a description of Liza. So the police were out there for a long time. And where we are today was that took us over to South Orleans Street. And that would be where Brother Mario lives. So if you could see, it's not really that far of a distance, but a lot actually went down at Brother Mario's house, and we're about to talk about that. And that is where the police presence is right now, as well as armored vehicles, as well as I believe that is the location today that they took the dumpster with them. Like law enforcement literally just took the dumpster and drove off with it. So you can see, I don't think he ever was at the Lakes of Ridgeway that day. I think he went from Central Ave. He dumped the things that he did, whatever he had to do, dumped the clothes at McDonald's, went to his brother's, in my opinion. Hey, Jen, I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Okay. So let's go to the affidavit. This case, y'all, I don't know about you guys, but I just have a really bad feeling, and it breaks my heart. No. Here we go. Whoa, hey now. Okay. This is says this is about Cleotha for especially aggravated kidnapping. Anybody in the chat is especially aggravated? Is that just because it is said to be extremely violent? It says on Friday, September 2nd, at approximately 7 a.m., Memphis police officers responded to a missing person in 1500 block of Carr Ave. Now, let me lead up to that for a second, because that's not all of it. So let me give you the timeline I have really quick. Was at 4 a.m., Liza left for her normal routine jog. She had been jogging that for, they said, pretty much since she moved there. So she went there at 4 a.m., went out to jog, like same route every time. I don't recommend that. But that's neither here nor there. At 6:45, the biker, Good Samaritan biker, is on his bike, and he finds a pair of Champion sandals, as well as what we now know is Liza's phone smashed. So he finds those two things. Well, this is kind of interesting. 7:30, police receive two phone calls. They receive a phone call from Richie Fletcher saying that his wife did not return home from her normal run. Police also receive a phone call right after from University of Memphis saying that they have evidence that somebody was taken. They found this sandals and this phone, but they've had video surveillance or whatnot of somebody being forced into a terrain. So that's kind of how that morning went before we get up to here. So 7 a.m., which is off, Memphis police officers responded to a missing person in 1500 block of car. That was Liza's resident address. Richard Fletcher advised that his wife Eliza went for a regular run around 4 a.m. and had not returned. She was last seen wearing a pink shirt, purple shorts, and running shoes. Her purple shorts looked like they had a band, like something that she held things in. Well, that's the other thing, guys. If he was looking to rob her, I would probably not pick a runner who probably might not have any sort of money or ATM card. At approximately 6:45, citizen Miles Fortis rode his bike on Central Avenue near Zach Curlin Street and found the victim's cell phone as well as a pair of Champion Slide sandals laying in the street in the same area. Side note, this is Parker on a side note. Hey, moron Pookie, if you're going to kidnap somebody, maybe don't do it in slides. But anyways, Fortis turned these items over to family member of the victim, who in turn turned them over to What? Okay. Well, now hold the fort just a second. Hold on. Y'all, is that weird to anyone else? Did you guys catch that? The guy that found it, he turned it over to the victim's family and then they gave it to law enforcement. Like, is that not terror? Like, I, I mean, okay, I guess I'm trying. Okay. Um, I can't imagine that was super great for the investigation and a bit odd, but hey, whatever. Okay. Therefore, investigators located video surveillance near 3876 Central Ave that showed a black GMC Terrain passing and then waiting for the victim to run by. Interesting. A male exited the black GMC Terrain, ran aggressively toward the victim, and then forced the victim, Eliza Fletcher, into the passenger side of the vehicle. During this abduction, there appeared to be a struggle. The champion sandals were found in this area. The vehicle then sat in a parking lot with the victim inside for approximately 4 minutes before it drove off. The vehicle had noticeable damage to the back passenger taillight area. Additionally, approximately 24 minutes before the abduction, surveillance footage captured the same vehicle in the area and captured a partial plate. I just got to make sure I know. So Savannah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm still very confused as to why the guy that found the slides and stuff gave it to the family before law enforcement. But it is. I mean, whatever. I think that's weird, but so I'm gonna guess the slides. Yes, I'm not real sure why Pookie thought that was a good idea, but on Friday, September 2nd, the champion sandals were sent to TBI for DNA testing. Okay, hold on a second. Guys, is it September 5th today? Because I think, is it September 5th? Isn't it the 3rd? I guess it's fine. I'm just confused. Because I thought it was the 3rd she disappeared, but this is saying the September 2nd, which, okay. So they were sent for testing. Thereafter, investigators developed Cleotha Abstin as a person of interest in the investigation. Thank goodness for CODIS. DNA found on the shoes matched DNA for Cleotha Abstin in CODIS database. This led investigators to seek to confirm the whereabouts of Cleotha before, during, and after the abduction. Investigators were able to recover surveillance footage of Cleotha wearing the same champion slides sandals on a day before the abduction. The footage was obtained from 1080 North Germantown Parkway, Malco Theater, and was collected by Sergeant Dobbins. Cleotha Abstin was found to reside at 5700 block of Waterstone Oakway. The location has active utilities in the name of Gwendolyn Brown. Researching law enforcement databases revealed that Gwendolyn has a black 2013 Terrain with license plate, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I knew who it was yesterday. But no, not I just when I saw the like, yeah. So that was pretty easy to come up with. Oh, today's the 4th. Holy cow, my dates are all off. Okay, thanks for telling me that. All right, so we're back to okay, where she lives and all that. So then it says Sergeant Payne and Sergeant Barrett then interviewed the owner of Majesty's Cleaning Service, Marilyn Pickens, who verified that she employed Cleotha Abston, that he drives the GMC train, and that his telephone number was, she gives a telephone. Investigators obtained cellular phone records, and analysis determined that cellular device associated with the number was near 3876 Central Ave during the time Eliza Fletcher was seen being forced into the black GMC terrain. This is wild, y'all, because this was broke open. This case was broke open with sandals, with champion slides. Wow. On September 3rd at approximately 10:45 a.m., the 2013 GMC Terrain with license plate was located by members of the U.S. Marshal Service, Two Rivers Violent Fugitive Task Force. The vehicle was backed into a parking spot in the parking lot area in the 5700 block of Waterstone Oakway and was confirmed to be the vehicle by the license plate number and by noticeable damage, blah, blah, blah. The damage captured in the video of the abduction and partial plate identification of surveillance. They did the physical matching of Cleotha. So Cleotha was standing in the doorway at 5700 block Waterstone Oakway. He knew he was screwed, basically. Officers then detained Cleotha at this location while he occupied the GMC terrain. Gotcha. So that's where the accident came from. Okay. When officers stopped Cleotha Abston, he attempted to flee but was taken into custody. That makes sense. Okay. Investigators interviewed Chantel Anthony, and she stated that after the abduction at approximately 7:50 hours, which is 7:50 a.m., which would have been, 20 to 25 minutes after the initial call of the disappearance came in, she saw Cleotha Abston at the home of Mario Abston in 1700 block of South Orleans Street. This is not the house that Cleotha Abston lives. She stated that she saw Cleotha cleaning the interior of the GMC terrain with floor cleaner and stated that he was behaving oddly. This later confirmed by Mario Abston, Cleotha Abston's brother, who stated that he too saw Cleotha cleaning the interior of the car with floor cleaner. Chantel Anthony and Mario Abston saw Cleotha Abston washing his clothes in the sink of the house. He stated that it appeared Cleotha was acting very strange. Cleotha declined to provide investigators location of the victim. And then this is his arrest warrant. This was the arrest warrant for Mario to search his and kind of what went over with that. So that was a majority of what happened. Why can't I find my mouse? Okay. Let me see. Rule 1, if you get it right. Let me see 4th. Maybe the guy was to keep. Yeah. Hey, lovely lady. So that's the wild thing. So, so there's more, we're going to talk about, but as we suspected, right? She was in good shape, and I think she fought hard. Whatever happened had to have happened between the hours of, let's see, 4:34 is what I have my timeline set to. So 4:34, and he was back at his brother's house cleaning the interior of his GMC and the washing his clothes in the sink. Now, law enforcement has said that they believe it was, so they must have seen in the video that it was very violent, and said that there was probably blood and or evidence within that GMC that he was trying to clean. The one thing about the blood and stuff and washing his clothes in the sink is that we all know if you wash any type, I don't care if it's red juice. What color does it make your water? Red, right? It makes it red. So, hey, in the bushes, the fact that his brother and his brother's girlfriend or whatever are not commenting necessarily on I don't know. I think it's really weird. I think it's really weird. Let's take a look at so Ian Ripple is from Tennessee. He's been really boots on the ground. I can't remember what a news station, but as of like let's see over here at so this is on St. Lauderdale Street in Rosewood. That's allegedly near where there was an armored vehicle and other authorities. Now, this one is interesting. So, this is Longview Gardens apartment. This is where the brother lives with that woman, I guess I would assume. So, the other call to Ellie Annie was 7. I believe it said that both they got two different calls at 7:30. So the stuff like her cell phone and the champion slides were found at 6:45. So I would imagine between that and 7:45 was when the first call came in from Richie. So I just feel this is odd. So you mean that at 6:45 we've got Mortis, that's the guy. What were these names? We got Mortis who finds the slides and he finds the cell phone. Okay. We have Richie right after that at some point that calls right into law enforcement saying that she didn't come home from her run. And then we have law enforcement dispatched to both locations, but Mortis somehow hands the evidence to the family first, who then, which I imagine it's her phone that he handed to her, or he handed to Richie. So he gives Richie their phone, and then Richie gives it to law enforcement. I just think that's very odd. I just think that's very odd. Um, just odd. So this is where Brother Mario lives. It said there's been a lot of. This is where they took the dumpster from, and there's copters over there. Let me re. Hold on one second. Make sure there's nothing new. I don't know what that is. It said this is over near that area as well, but I mean, they're going looking for something. We also have to remember, Savannah, I mean, that's possible. There are some theories that well, we've heard that he was sleeping with a nanny, which we've never even, there's been no verification from anyone that there even is a nanny. And then we've heard they were separated, but as of the end of it's possible, but as of the end of July, I saw on his Instagram before he privated it. Actually, I saw it on her Instagram that they were on vacation up north, and she said it, and she typed, "I love being on vacation with my family," yada yada yada. So I mean, if they were separated, it just happened within the last few weeks. I do not believe they were separated at all. I don't at all. But we also have to remember they did go and immediately that night that she disappeared, they had already obtained a warrant. In order to obtain a warrant, that means the judge has to have believed that there is some sort of probable cause to give a warrant, and to get it that quickly is pretty substantial. Um, so they searched the house, and if we remember, they seized her Jeep Wagoneer, and they had her laptop, and now we know they came out with garden shears. Now somebody, and maybe it is, maybe I'm wrong, said that those garden shears, I don't believe it because I looked it up, but they said that they were bolt cutters. Now, they were police bolt cutters. However, the garden shears were tagged. and being carried with gloves on, which gloves, whatever, he had a bag in his hand. I looked up bolt cutters that police would use, like law enforcement, and they don't at all look like those garden shears at all. So for whatever reason, whether it lit up with luminol or whatever, maybe somebody nicked their hand on it or something, they found something to take those. I mean, if those are now, hold on, let's just pull up the picture because it's driving me nuts. Hold on. Uh, oh shoot, let me try one more and see if I can find it. No, I can't find it, but most of you have seen the image, and I mean, were they really bolt cutters? She did, Savannah. So that was her route that she ran all the time, every day. So I will say one thing is, it is said, and this is in no way, my goodness, listen, you should be able to run where you want, when you want, with who you want, or by yourself, with nobody following you, and never any worry about it. But okay, like, it's not the day and age we live in. So, ladies, please don't take the same route every day. Yeah, Sandy. There's got to be a connection. I mean, so I do, yeah, carry pepper spray, something. Feel that I hate saying this, but I have a 99, I feel like 90, okay, let me 99, 95% certain, y'all, that she's not coming back alive. And I hate saying that, but I mean, either she's out running naked somewhere because she has no clothes, right? Because we can't, it hasn't been verified yet, but it's alleged that her clothes were there last night. He had to wash his clothes for something. He was cleaning something off the seat, but I just don't, like, he didn't ask for a ransom or anything. So I don't even know, other than maybe like the maybe knowing from the husband or something. Like, I don't think it was something about him wanting, because she's the heir to the billionaire Joe Orgel. I don't think that it was a money thing, because she was an heir to that inheritance 4 or 5 years ago. Because Joe, I looked up, died in 2018. Theory husband paid, yeah, Punkette. That is kind of where I'm at. That is kind of where I'm at now, based on the husband's Instagram. I think that Sandy, yep. I think that they had a lot of problems in their marriage up to three, like when they got year three or something. But the husband had said, things got better because he was in recovery and whatnot. So I don't know if he slipped off the wagon or if he never what, who knows. But um, I would assume so, Savannah, and he still will, unless, I mean, if he's not. This one, I agree with Sandy. This case, because we know Pookie, we're just going to call him Pookie because I think that's hilarious. That's his nickname, is not going to give up any information. He already is refusing to tell law enforcement where, well, where the body is, which means he hasn't confessed to a murder. I am still with, so there was that theory that the husband was in mega debt. So that's the other thing. If the husband was in mega debt to these, which we know they're obvious drug dealers, because both of them have charges, past charges, and we know Mario had a current charge of basically making meth with an intent, or fentanyl, whatever that is. Isn't that like meth, but the worst kind or something? with the attempt, intent to sell or whatever. Um, I mean, it's not impossible that to get back at the husband, they would kill her, but typically, wouldn't they just kill him if he was in a bad debt? Yeah, Savannah, exactly. There is a connection somewhere. Uh, it is insane to me because do you know how many GMC terrains are there in Tennessee? Thousands upon thousands. The GMC terrain that he used to kidnap her wasn't his, it was the girl's. So the odds of them really finding him right away or finding that specific GMC terrain would have taken a long time. Hey, Rebellious, but those sandals that Pookie was stupid enough to try to get somebody with champion slides is beyond me. And those are the things I'm just very confused about because it said that I mean they have video of him because it says that he matched the description seen in the video. So unless they mean body description or something, or that was probably grainy, right? So it's probably grainy, so they could just see like a brief image, but not a full image. But I don't know if I know in the bushes, I don't know if he thought that she wouldn't fight or what, or if he thought she'd come closer to the car, or if he tried to tell her something that would get her into the car and then things went south and she wouldn't get into the car. But it says he ran at her aggressively. So for the moment he got out of his car, well, first of all, she was running. And so he probably was like, I gotta go. You know, he probably couldn't get her attention and she probably ran. Exactly in the bushes. So I think she fought exactly, Savannah, a lot harder than he expected her to fight. And he just effed up and lost those slides there. And that legitimately just blew up the case. But as I read this affidavit, I am going to look further into Mortis, the guy that found the cell phone and the phone, because I think there's some things that's interesting about that. But there has to be a connection between them at some point. I was on Twitter and I asked the FBI investigator if it was rare for, if the disappearance of the 15-year-old rather close was a coincidence to the disappearance of Liza. And her comment, remember, she's a retired FBI, she's very well known, was, I don't believe in coincidences. So I mean, what do you guys think? Do you get the vibe that he just was like, "Hey, 2 years later." I mean, when he was getting out of jail, he was emailing people like 345 days and I'm out of here. I mean, granted, I don't think he was living the upstanding citizen life, but 2 years after he gets out of prison, he decides he's going to randomly kidnap a runner and remember, he stalked her out for 24 minutes, waiting for him to, like, he was driving near her, waiting for her to come around for 24 minutes until she came around and he got out and took off after her. No way. I just don't. I'm wondering, Sandy, yep. Does he had a gun or a knife and thought she would. That's possible too, Savannah. Yeah, in the bushes. Um, So I just don't think it was random. A lot of people do, but I don't get that vibe from this. I think Pookie is just the type of guy that you would want to hire to be a hitman because he just doesn't care. Um, yeah, Savannah. So the other thing that's interesting is It's interesting that he went back to his brother's when he resides with Gwendolyn. So he went back to his brother's on the other end of town. He probably dropped her clothes, if that is in fact what was found in the McDonald's parking lot. So he dropped it in there. And you don't think a paid hit in the bushes? What do you think the motive is straight up? Because the problem with the robbery theory for me is just that she was running, and like if you were just wanting to rob anybody random, I would not pick a runner because a lot of times they don't have their ATM cards on them or really any cash on them. She was wearing, like those sports bra crop tops. I mean, she wouldn't necessarily be somebody that I would picture running and getting money from. Really in the bushes, and that is highly possible. This morning I was like, "Holy crap, I was way off with the dad. I feel terrible." But I mean, whatever I think that they just said he was acting very odd. So yeah, probably Savannah, that he was acting very odd. He was cleaning the terrain, and he was whatever doing what he had to do, cleaning his clothes in the kitchen sink. Um, exactly in the bushes, and that was left behind, which is another weird thing. But like, oh well, no, it's not weird. Duh, they could track her that way. That's not okay. Yeah, duh. Um, yeah, I can't remember what's going that. Oh, um, shoot. Wow, Parker, in and out like that. But yeah, but then he took his cell phone, so they obviously could track where he was there. Now the family had that brief press conference type of thing yesterday. No, she hasn't. Exactly in the bushes. Exactly, lovely lady. Yeah, sure, Aaron. Send it to my email if you can. And I definitely won't show it. No, I definitely won't show it, Aaron. Um, yeah, in the bushes. That's the other thing. It's not no, Savannah, she has not been found yet. He will not tell them where she is, and they've searched a lot of places. I do think that they feel that she's somewhere over near the brother. Um, I will say they did say that law enforcement is pretty much all like one step like doing a very good job with this. And there's a lot of, people really angry that Miracle Cooper isn't, getting a lot of spotlights. But to be very honest, there's nothing I can find much on her. I've searched Facebook. I can't see any family type posts looking for her. Like I haven't even found much on her. Yeah, Pamela, that part makes me sick is because I can't imagine how terrified she was. And I think that the reason this is where I was going with that. The reason that he was shaken up. Yeah. Do I have a mod in here that can just drop my email so that my typing doesn't um the reason I think he was shaken up is because I do think she fought so hard, and uh maybe you know what? Maybe he knew who she was, and he was planning on do a ransom, but she wasn't going down without a fight. And I mean, if she passed, I think it was probably in the there you go, Rebellious dropped it. It was probably in the vehicle, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Pamela, that's what goes through my mind. I look at her boys, and she is, so loved at her teaching job. And I just think she must have been so, so terrified. So terrified. But I truly don't think that it will be much. I don't know. You're right though, Sandy. She could be anywhere. But she could only be, I mean, he only had a certain time frame to work with. So I don't think, do you in the bushes? Yeah. You know, because there are those guys that just can't be out of prison, that just do stupid, stupid things to go back to prison. I believe with a whole heart that if Chris Watts was out of prison, I believe people like Chris Watts now, I think he legitimately is content where he is in prison because so they did obtain the search warrant and we're doing that tonight, Sandy. You know, some guys just they get used to prison life and but it's kind of another situation just like you remember Brittany Drexler was murdered, right, by the guy who had been in prison for assaulting and kidnapping a young girl and got out early, moved, and, killed Brittany. Th- These guys are getting out too early. Savannah, yeah. So that was they apparently whatever tip they received on Friday night to Overton Park, but there was also a tip that was they were searching uh some sort of woods kind of near where that the apartment complex is. But I mean, I don't really know if he the hard part is if he dropped those clothes in that McDonald. Let's go back to the Google. Let's look at this here. I'm gonna get closer up. Okay, so keep in mind over here on Crossview is where this is where Miracle went missing on uh I believe in this area because she went to school, which is over here, and never returned on September 1st. So this over here is where she was taken around that area, around 3800 Central Ave. He then would have gone this way over to, hey, look at that park. Over to, where'd it go? So he was there. He went over to this McDonald's, allegedly, we think that he dropped her clothes in this dumpster. Now, if you go over here, whoops, here is the lakes at Ridgeway where his girlfriend lives and where they found the GMC and everything like that. But now the brother lives all the way over here. Huh. So I guess he probably didn't even go over to Lakes at Ridgeway. So he probably, so I would think, y'all, let's look over here at South Orland Street. They must be looking. Let me go back and look at what they said on Twitter where they were looking. Hold on one second. Where there was a large police presence. And we'll see where they are on this. Okay, Lauderdale Street, large presence at Longview Gardens. Okay, well that's the complex. Let's go over to the complex and see. Izzy, did they find Miracle? She was missing September 1st. Did they find her? That would be amazing. What was that Overton Park they were near? So let me go over to And we have to remember somebody turned them. So this is where they are right now, or where there's been a lot of police present. This is where Brother Mario lives. So, okay, so the thing when we see him entering the bushes and stuff like that over at that house, I'm gonna guess it's over in this tree line somewhere. Yeah, I'll go back over there. I'm just trying to see where Izzy says about. I'm so hoping that means that they found. Please tell me they found her alive. Now, also, somebody told me, I think it was in this chat the other day that, oh, Tony, that Overton Park is 346 acres. Well, Sandy, I know he was so stupid, just like the slides. 146 acres. So you kind of go, oh my gosh, do we have another Brian Laundrie, investigation on our hands with the amount of searching that happened? So the only place I really see around his house that could be searched would be these bushes right here. Let me type in Oak Overtron. Holy cow. I'm telling you, this Google Earth is, let's see here. Oh my gosh. So where is that in relation to? Well, now wait a minute. That would make more sense. She disappeared. Oh, y'all seeing this? Look at the triangle. Oh, Izzy, that's so amazing. Thanks, Aaron. I will go see if that's her that's found. That would be so amazing. Let me check my inbox. You guys see the triangle there? So the farthest one on the right is where she disappeared. Then you go all the way up, and that's Overton Park. And then he would have legitimately been able just to veer down and go to his brother's. But that still doesn't make the McDonald. Well, Annie, Miracle Cooper is the girl that went missing um, September 1st. She went to school and never came back. All right, I'm waiting for it. I don't see it yet. Um, Absolutely, Gold Star Mom. Please, everyone, if you get a chance, Gold Star Mom did a live tonight. Please check out her live. It was so good. Um, go back to, yeah, if she tells you what park, my guess is it's Overton. Because I mean that just makes so much sense. He would have went. So I'm going to say, in my opinion, speculation. He went and got her here. He did whatever he did in this frame and dumped her in here somewhere. I'm gonna say feel like he went to his brother's house to clean his car and to clean his clothes. And then I'm going to say the last thing he took care of then on his way back to the apartments was dropping her clothes at McDonald's. Oh, Izzy, that's amazing. Thank you. Guys, that is great news. Get out of here, Amber. Really? Great. Now I'm going to be in that rabbit hole all night. Well, praise the Lord. Hey, that is awesome. It will, Gold Star Mom. That is phenomenal news, guys. Miracle has been found. So that's one 15-year-old guy, or 15-year-old girl found. I'm so glad you said that, Izzy. Thank you so much. I still don't have anything from you. Let me put my email in one more time just in case you got it wrong. Well, Amber, the thing is, you live, in Tennessee. Okay, I'm not doxing you. You've said that before. In that state. So the thing is, it's not hard. It's when you have billionaire families like this, is there any other large park that they could possibly be looking at in Tennessee? I mean, in Memphis? Well, we do have the botanical garden, but I truly think it's just over here where, oh my gosh. Wait, 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 wait. I'm confused. Wait a minute. Something just hit me. Something just hit me. If, if, that's what I heard oh gosh. Why? They tracked his phone. They said he was in the area where she was taken at that time. Why can't they track his phone where he went after that? Absolutely, Gold Star. Good night. You see what I'm saying? Exactly, Aaron. I don't understand. I guess I'm a bit confused because did he drop his phone? Did he? Now, if it turns off, it won't track anymore. Is that what it is? Here, Aaron, I'm going to send my email again because I didn't get it. I'm just in the bushes. You're right. So that might be the case. Which, y'all, doesn't it crack you up? He kidnapped a woman in champion slides that he wore the day before. Couldn't remember to take it off or whatever. He lost his slides, forgot to turn off his phone to go do it, and then finally turns off his phone where that's got to be it. That's got to be it. Wow. Ah, that's crazy. I still am not convinced that he did it alone, but he might have. Or, who knows, maybe there was just something about her that he had been following her for a while, there's just nothing. We just need him to start talking. Let's go and see. So there's the Lenox Bayou. There's Toby Park. Man, there's a lot of parks. Now there is that body of water over here. Oh gosh. Is that a giant river? Is that a river? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm ridiculous. I can't even believe I just said that. Yeah, that would be the Mississippi River. Oh wow. Holy cow. Good catch, Sandy. Oh gosh, look at how close that is. Not that good in geography. I don't think he went far as he didn't think the police. Yeah, Izzy, that's probably true. And I'm sure when if it went out, is it? Wow. If it went out quickly, when everything kind of went crazy, he probably was. Yeah, you're right. I don't think he thought everything was going to go as fast as it did. And imagine how much he was crapping his pants when he realized his shoes were gone. I think it's weird that he didn't drive back around to get them, but he might not even have noticed if he was like that much adrenaline flowing through him or something. Hey, Salem. So let me do one more. I want to, yeah, when I get something from Aaron, I'll let you all know, but I want to do one more just sweep and see if there's any updates. So if you are just coming in, they found Miracle. Um, Wait, what? Oh, they found Miracle Cooper. Okay. River, you are in rule. Wow. Okay, in the bushes. So we'll come back to Liza, but I wanted to also quickly brush on this other case that I'm waiting for information to get out about. But if you still have questions, he obviously is a very smart criminal. He left his, I know, right, Izzy? And and he had to have known that if his DNA was going to flag in CODIS, I mean, the guy just spent 20 years in prison. It's just nuts. Did you? Okay. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I don't know why my email's being ridiculous. Um, so you remember we talked about briefly Gabriel. Let's go to his case here so there's not much about him, but we're gonna look into him anyways. This case is nuts. Dude, I'm telling you guys, you can't make this stuff up. Oh, I gotta stop sharing here. So Gabriel Davies last Wednesday, that's possible in the bushes, I posted something. Okay, I'll give it a bit, Aaron, that he had been missing, right? It said he went to football practice, never made it to football practice, and then he went missing. Well, they ended up finding him Thursday. Um, the problem is that Gabe, as they call him, uh, Gabe could be placed at the crime scene of murdering a 51-year-old man. Let me show you here. So this is Gabe. He didn't show up for football practice. He'd been missing since 4 p.m. I found him Thursday. His parents set up a GoFundMe for his legal fees, to which GoFundMe said, absolutely not. You cannot do that. It is not used for violent crimes, which is crazy. But hold on one second. His story, I've got to make sure I get the right one. Okay. So let me make sure I'm streaming it. Oh, thanks, Pamela. Thank you so much, guys. So Gabriel Davies goes missing Wednesday. 16-year-old athlete was last seen in a remote area of Thurston County after a search. Public worry came relief. They found Davies late Thursday evening, not far from where his disappearance had been reported. Then came shock. Davies and another teen, also 16, were arrested Friday on suspicion of second-degree murder. The victim, 51-year-old man, was found dead at an address in Ording, a small city in eastern Pierre County. Again and again, online reactions started with the same words. No one saw it coming. So here's some facts to know. No charges yet. So Pierce County Sheriff's detectives, they arrested him Friday. Both are booked in Reman, whatever that Hall, juvenile detention facility on suspicion of second-degree murder, first-degree burglary, and unlawful gun possession. They have not been formally charged with those crimes. Decision comes probably Tuesday because it's the victim, still not formally identified, is described as a 51-year-old man. Deputies discovered his remains Thursday morning in response to a requested welfare check. The man had not reported to work for 4 days. Oh my gosh. Deputies entered a residence in 21900. It said they found the man dead from an apparent gunshot wound. They did not find a weapon at the scene. The victim had been dead for at least 24 hours prior to discovery of his body on Thursday morning. An exact time of death will be determined after a full investigation. The victim and Davies knew each other, Moss said. Additional property and court records from Pierce and Thurston counties tie the address of the 51-year-old man with long-standing connections to Davies as well as his mother, who then wanted a GoFundMe. All of them lived at the oh my gosh, all of them lived at the address for several years. The man and Davies' mother were a couple. Oh my gosh. According to statements filed by both individuals in a long-running family law case. Oh my God. The man and Davies' mother filed multiple statements in support of each other. Lost and found. Davies became the subject of intense community and media interest after his family reported him missing. Authorities launched a search after his vehicle was found abandoned on Tilley Road. He was then found on Tilley Road a day later. Deputies said they found his vehicle under suspicious circumstances, and that's all. What the heck? Y'all, you can't. Hey, Socket. I know, Izzy girl. Y'all, I don't. I know, Izzy. I mean, can you believe that? This kid just ruined his entire life attempting to rob a man that his mother was in a relationship for years and years, and they all lived at that address for years and years. He attempts to rob him with another 16-year-old boy. Obviously, it didn't go down the way they planned. My guess is they thought he wasn't home or something, but he hadn't come to work in 4 days. So it did say that they figured he was deceased for 24 hours at least. And then something went wrong and the boys killed him. And so my guess is he ran. But then, we've got the mom who puts up a GoFundMe for 25,000 for I don't know why it's not showing up for his legal fees, and GoFundMe takes it down. Yeah, I'm still waiting, Aaron. I'll keep waiting on it. Maybe it's just going slow. So I don't know. It's mind-blowing to me. You almost wonder, did mom, I don't know. If mom was that willing to put up a GoFundMe for his legal fees, I don't know. You just can't help but wonder. Overton Park. Okay, so that's what we thought. So whatever. So back to Liza. We'll keep on that story. I think that's going to be a very, very crazy story, and there's a lot more to come out of that story. So people are very leery to talk because of retaliation if they would give more. And that's true as well. Is he they obviously, money is of no issue. I mean, we all saw the house that they lived at, Liza and her husband. And I mean, that house in Memphis, Tennessee, I can't even imagine what that house costs to live in. It's absolutely gorgeous. She, as Tony said the other day, that Jeep Wagoneer is easily $75,000. Her husband had boats. They had boats and trucks and all that kind of stuff. So there is no doubt in my mind they have plenty of money and I mean, she's a school teacher, and I can guarantee you she doesn't work because she has to. She probably works because she likes her job and the kids really like her. But I mean, and he's a boat dealer manager. So I don't foresee a boat dealer manager and a teacher living in that type of house. Um, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do know that I've heard a couple people say that that's the wealthier part of Memphis. Um, oh, here we go. Got it, Aaron. Um, hold on one second, y'all. Give me 1 second, guys. I just want to see. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that is the affidavit. Wow. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I got distracted. I got to look through that, Aaron. Thank you. Um, so before we go, just in chat, do you guys think there's any hope of her still being alive? I mean, to be quite honest, just be real, and here you can. And so you don't. Yeah, Aaron, it's definitely very weird. 10%. I know, Izzy. I keep going. I was like, okay, let's not be as grim to say 99%. Let's say so I did do a little bit of a timeline. I'll show y'all. Uh just 1 second. So I'm going to do this a lot better than my dates are off because uh sorry, I suck it. Eliza Fletcher. Her poor mother during that press conference, y'all, she just looked like she just terrified. Do you guys think that the husband had anything to do with it? So this is just what I came up with at 4 a.m. between 4:20. So there's nothing we really haven't seen on here. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, so it's at that I got to come back through because at that 7:50 mark, he's at his brother's. So I want to just do it really well and make sure like I have a solid sources and everything cited. It is a sad story. Aaron, I know. So that's what made me be like, okay, I got to be a little more gentle because I agree the same thing, Aaron, because somebody on Facebook was there Izzy girl. Izzy, can you like text me or email me if you hear any breaking news because there was heavy police at his employment. It's okay, S Hockett. Um, if he's innocent, like somebody said on Facebook on her group, try to have a little grace because if he's innocent right now, people are ruining his life. And I get it, and so I'm going to be graceful, but I mean, it doesn't look good. In order for them to search their house as quickly as they did, somebody said they have to have the judge would want a very clear, probable reason to issue that warrant because I forgot how they said it. It was like on a legal thing they were talking about it that because they don't want to put the family through trauma, because they're already missing a loved one, that they have to have a really concrete reason that they would think that would be necessary in order to put that family through that type of trauma, which I didn't know because she didn't disappear from the home. And I was like, exactly, Izzy. I was like, well, exactly, Amber. I was like, I mean, that makes sense because had she gone missing from I know, lovely lady. house, that would have been a no-brainer, but she didn't. So for them to be able to seize the vehicle and the laptop and the shears and whatever else they had in the baggie, I mean, she had to see a reason that was it. I'm confused about why they seized her vehicle, unless, like he drove it too, or because that didn't look at all like what they had in the surveillance. And if, like Izzy Girl saying, if they were at the his employment today. And you know what else, y'all, is we have not been. Yes, I did, Sandy. Her poor mother looked absolutely exhausted, like she hadn't slept, and just terrible. I mean, he was wiping his eyes and everything, but I mean, it's hard to tell. Um, we still don't know the reason because remember they received a tip and they searched Overton Park on Friday night. We still don't know what. Oh, CLH, that's a great thought. That's a great thought. So that could be it too, Izzy Girl, because okay, that would explain it more, Izzy Girl, because maybe there was, there could have been woods they had to cut through back to make sure she wasn't back there, because people said it was bolt cutters, but that definitely wouldn't have cut bolt, like it just wasn't, yeah, it's not a bolt cutter, but this would make sense. This makes a lot of sense actually, because they were carrying that bag out with the shears, so it's likely probably whatever they have in that bag, they probably cut with those shears. So that's a really, really good point. But you can take dash cam SD card right out of it. Really? Yeah, you're right, CLH. I mean, if this is hired hitman is like things you see out of the movie. I guess I don't know that many cases that's happened, but I'm sure it happens a lot. Yeah, CLH. I think that you guys are I think you're onto something with having to cut. What'd you just see on Twitter, Punkette? Oh, wow, Punkette. Okay. Really, Amber? Yeah, make sure you hit your opt-in, guys, for your gifts. True, CLH. I just what's kind of weird, y'all, is I was looking through her Facebook. I mean, I guess stalking a little bit, and she was a massive, massive true crime fan. In fact, this is absolutely a little bit like it gave me chills a little bit. She was okay, Aaron. That's what I thought. That's all she listened to on her runs were true crime podcasts. And it's almost like, because there was a few of her Facebook posts asking for a new true crime podcast and stuff because she watched it or listened to him on her run. So I just thought, like, wouldn't it? I know, Izzy. I know. I know. It's so, but that's just kind of like, man, what if she was listening to what? It's just crazy. But I mean, you could tell her family was her whole life. So, Aaron, the laptop you saw them take, like they took it out for some reason on the porch and then put it back in the bag. I couldn't listen to the podcast she listened to at 4 a.m. Right. I know, Izzy Girl. I know. I know, CLH. Like my brain would be. No, not yet, Sally. Sally, they did find Miracle though. Miracle Cooper, the 15-year-old girl that went missing. Um, my brain would be going nuts. But I am very disappointed in the amount of victim shaming that I have seen on Reddit and stuff of people saying, "Well, what did this?" There was a woman that said, "I don't." If this woman, she was on. Okay, I don't know if it was a woman, it was somebody on Reddit. If this woman was jogging at 4 a.m. in Memphis, then she got what she was deserves. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? She'd ran that route for forever, and I get it. Like, was it the smartest thing ever? No, probably not. But we all have a little bit of thinking, well, that'll never happen to us in us, you know. And she was near the university, and I just thought, oh my gosh, how can you even say that? Like, this woman is likely not alive. Her boys are young boys and husband are without their mother and wife, a daughter, whatever. And yeah, yeah, Amber. Well, that's the other thing. You almost got to wonder if she did have something on her and she just couldn't get to it or something. Like, I don't even walk anymore alone. Like, if I'm going for a walk or something, I always, like, if I'm, by myself, I always make sure that I take, yeah, in the bushes for sure. I always make sure that I take the pepper spray. Well, yeah, and so in the bushes, that's a really good point because is Tennessee's back in school. So she's a teacher. She would have had to have jogged always early in the morning to have enough time to get her kids up and whatnot. Exactly, CLH. Oh, yep, go like Brits. And Trisha and Glenn are doing a live tonight on their other channel about Summer Wells, so I'll post it in the community post. And obviously, if anything happens in this case that I don't see first, please let me know. I'll keep updating my timeline, um, and we'll just keep, going over facts. My opinion is she's probably not alive. My opinion is she's probably in Overton Park somewhere because I think Pookie was really stupid, and I can't believe that's his name. Um, oh my gosh, Izzy, you're kidding me. Ran less than a mile in 7 minutes. Exactly, in the bushes. I used to have to either work out really early before the kids got up or really late, like when I could get them into bed. You just do what you got to do. I have heard that. I've heard don't run with headphones. That's the other thing. She had headphones on. What if he ran at her from behind? Um, yeah, CLH. The biggest thing I've heard too is just try not to run the same route every day. And if you're going to like be with somebody or just mix it up every once in a while. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been that person that thinks I'm invincible and nothing can happen, like you just, but yeah, I mean, she's got two young boys. You run when you can run. Oh my gosh, Izzy. You know what? I wondered about that because you know what? That makes sense because like I want to say a year or so ago on her Facebook post she put, "Will would anybody be willing to run with me from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. because my running partner or something, like she needed somebody to run with her at that day." So I wondered, well, why didn't she did was this just a fluke thing? Did she stop running with? But I oh my gosh, that would make sense. Okay, so Izzy girl, that would change. That would Sandy. So Izzy girl, that would be interesting because if it was random and he knew, okay, thank you, Izzy girl. Yeah, so I mean, it seems to me that he knew that she would be alone. Yeah, Aaron, that's possible. Hmm, that's interesting. But I'm going down a rabbit hole tonight to kind of see what I can connect with some of these people and stuff. And if that, we've got, remember James, if James Epstein is related to them from Tennessee, who, if he's out of prison waiting his trial, which I think he is, but I got to verify. I mean, he killed his girlfriend. So I mean, I don't feel like it's a family that's real concerned about the law. Yeah, Izzy, you know what? You telling me that and now putting together that Facebook post about her looking for, that really, that's very, yeah, that changes, that is very telling, I think. Very telling. And if I will say law enforcement has done a phenomenal job in my opinion with this. I mean, they have, but exactly, Izzy, exactly. Oh, Sally, I'm just trying to connect. I'm trying to put a connection back to the husband, which there may not be one because I don't, maybe he is innocent, or maybe, I mean, I wouldn't know how to connect a dealer with him. Scene of her brakes tampered with. Possibly Aaron. Izzy, I think it was Izzy that had a really good point or something about. Oh, Sally, sorry. What's telling is Izzy was saying that yeah, so she usually has a running partner. It's been said that she usually has a running partner, but the running partner couldn't run on Friday. And then that led me to remember that I had seen a Facebook post a year or so back where she was saying, "Hey, could anybody run with me between 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. tomorrow morning?" And so then I was thinking, like, well, that's an odd post. Why did she need somebody that random day? But I'm thinking maybe it wasn't random, that she usually did have somebody that she ran with. And so she was, in fact, tried to find people to run with her when she couldn't. But my guess is maybe she, last minute just said, forget it, I'm going running or something like that. Um, but I think, yeah, CLH. I'm wondering that too, because that was the other thing people are. I was saying, I really believe that, like, if the husband is involved and if he decided to set this up as whatever, you can be sure she probably talked to. I mean, if she had a running partner, well, I don't know, because when I run, I can't talk because I can barely breathe because I'm really out of shape. But I'm sure they, confided in each other. So I am sure that she told friends. The woman has 2,000 friends on Facebook. She's a well-liked person. Um, so I would imagine, yes, she's probably confided in. I'm sure the reason they were able to check things so fast is because people came forward that said they were having problems or something. Yeah, Aaron, nope, you are right, Aaron. He was. So I don't know if he was in a midlife crisis or something, but on Instagram, he had bought a van, like I don't know, like a 60 something, and was going to fix it up to be like a van life. But I mean, the van was really tiny. So I guess he was maybe, I mean, he was constantly traveling for these mountain bike races, not even races. I don't know, it's just really hard races, I guess. You go up down mountains, mountain biking. But yeah, he had bought it. So I'm not sure if why he thought he was going to travel by himself. I mean, he stood to lose a lot of money if he was cheating or something. I mean, okay, so if he was cheating, he stood to lose a lot of money if she divorced him. But if she was deceased, he would inherit the money. Hmm. Yeah. Interesting. At the end of the day, I hope it was random and that he's innocent and his boys still have a father, because I don't think they're going to get their mother back. But um, so at some point this week, we will talk about Kylie again. I don't know much in the bushes. Not like she wouldn't have. Would he have? I don't know. Actually, that's true in the bushes. So I don't know if he would have inherited all of it or not. I don't know what kind of life insurance policy she had. I should check into that. I guess just because she was heir to this huge billion-dollar fortune, or however many. I mean, it wasn't like she got everything. That Oh, okay, Izzy girl, that's a good point, because there was several. Yeah, so I did. Yeah, now that you guys say that, that makes sense. It probably would have gone to the kids, unless he just figured, well, that's true too, Aaron. That's true, Amber. Wow. I know he was worth the grandfather was worth 3 million. I think he had several grandchildren, so I'm sure it was split between all of them. But I mean, at the end of the day, anything is. Amber, that's hilarious. Yeah, I don't know how inheritance and stuff like that goes, but now that y'all say so, clean life insurance, he needs to be ruled out and she has to be. Oh wow, in the bushes. Okay. So there is quite a bit of legality that has to go into that then. True, Sandy. True. So there's a girl that just disappeared, I believe Friday. Um, and her phone pinged, last pinged at Avocado Lake, which was where Jalissa went. His phone last pinged. A lot of paperwork. True, Amber. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a sad situation. But I mean, it is entirely possible. This is one of those guys that just can't make it outside of prison and can't control. I mean, because it doesn't mean that if this was random, it doesn't mean that this was his first one since prison. It just means that this is the first one he's kidnapped that he's been caught since prison. Somebody said there there's an article somewhere, I have to look it up. 100 people have gone missing in Memphis in 2022. That's nuts. That's so crazy. But all right, y'all. Well, listen, have a good night, and I'll see you, I'm sure, in some other lives tonight. If you guys get any, like, huge information, please let me know. Um, I have a feeling she will be found soon. Listen, Farhad, is it? Oh, Amber, yeah, that's right. 100 people. Oh my, kidnapped. Wait a minute, Izzy. That's the connection I've been trying to find. Thank you, Izzy. That is one of the connections I've been trying to find, is Kemper to Liza. Thank you, Izzy. Whew, I've been trying to figure that out. That, Izzy, you're amazing. Thank you. That is what I've been racking my brain to hook Kemper to Liza's family somehow, and you just did it for me. That's why I love this chat. Like, in the bushes, I wouldn't know half the stuff about the life insurance and stuff like that. Izzy, that guy, Izzy. Oh my gosh. So it's him. Holy crap. Okay, Aaron. So the attorney that did the press conference, I'll dig down for you. So the attorney that so in the bushes might be right on the random thing. The attorney that was kidnapped by Cleotha Pookie in the year 2000 was Kemper. I can't remember his last name. A prominent Memphis lawyer. He was kidnapped and was attempting to be robbed 20 years ago, and he got to the ATM machine and escaped from Cleotha. Cleotha then went to prison. He was supposed to go to prison for 24 years. He got out in 2020, though. He got out early. So he got out in 2020. He worked at the law firm of the uncle who gave the statement yesterday in Liza's family. Now that is what I was trying to figure out. That is nuts. Kemper Duran. Wow. So at 2 a.m., so let's talk about Kemper Duran. Hold on before we go anywhere. Let's talk about similarities because Izzy Girl just cracked my brain right open. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up. He was a weird felon charged with violently snatching Billy blah, 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 to F and Stockton brothers. And okay. So so he was kidnapped at 2 a.m. on May 25th, 2000. He was thrown into a trunk and taken to the ATM where he got out and wow, and escaped. But there was something else. Dang. Wow, that is amazing. Yeah, Amber, holy cow. Yep. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Huh. Wow. Sorry, I'm blown away by that. I'm blown away by that. Now, is that his that is the that the uncle's law firm then? Or just the firm he worked at? Awesome, Aaron. If you put in pin backwards at bank, does it know? I don't know. Yeah, Izzy, I mean, you just blew my mind. I am going to be like up. This is nuts. I'm on something right now that says oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I'm going to tell you a little bit about. So Kemper was He loved the law, so he was a criminal defense. He was a criminal defense story. Oh my gosh, is he? Criminal defense lawyer. This is Kemper Duran, and proud of it. Says he was a fan. Oh, he would defend now this. He would defend all sorts of conditions, including rich businessmen charged with fraud, or poor street folks charged with petty crimes. Some were innocent, some were guilty as sin. Wow. So the first involved Kemper's defense of an innocent man, Clark McMillan. Oh, that's okay, Aaron. You can say whatever you want. Hey. Wow. I mean, we're all just speculating in here and stuff. But that is, and I mean, Kemper Duran was a prominent lawyer then. He got a guy out of prison after like 22 years or something like that. So it says one night several years ago, Kemper was leaving. This was in 2000, May 25th, 2000. Kemper was leaving his office to head for home. As he was about to get in his car, he was accosted by two men, one of whom held a gun at Kemper's face and demanded his car keys. Kemper handed the keys over, and then at gunpoint, he was forced inside the trunk of his car. For the next several hours, Kemper was trapped in the cold darkness of his trunk as the two men drove the car throughout the city. From time to time, the car would stop. The men would open the trunk, pull Kemper out, make him withdraw money from an ATM machine, and hand it over. After several hours of this ordeal, Kemper was standing at gunpoint alongside yet another ATM machine when he noticed a security guard. Kemper yelled for help. His assailants fled, but were captured and arrested. Both men were tried and found guilty at the sentencing hearing for one of two men. A well-known lawyer appeared in the courtroom. It was Kemper. He told the judge he wanted to testify. Kemper took the stand and testified that the man who was sentenced was not the man who accosted him at gunpoint on that fateful evening. Yes, the man had been there and could certainly be considered an accomplice, but as Kemper saw it, the man was at the wrong place for the wrong person at the wrong time. Kemper then further described how during those hours he spent in the trunk of his car, he heard the two men talking, the man who was now about to be sentenced, and pleaded with his friend to stop the car. Let this man out, give him his keys, and go. Wow. Kemper portrayed that man as an unwilling accomplice and asked the judge to give him a lenient sentence. The judge agreed. It's a rare case in which the victim became an advocate for one of his assailants. And it says the final story is about one of Kemper's. Oh, just dang, y'all. Wow. Aaron, you're it is going to send me down a rabbit hole. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Izzy, so much. That's such a great catch you and your daughter got a hold of, because I would have been here for hours trying to figure out the connection. If any of you guys can verify that James Abston is a brother or a cousin, please send me a text or whatever, because I'm trying to find that out too. And if he's out of prison or not. Yeah. Wow. All right, y'all. Thank you guys. I feel pumped after finding that out. Izzy, I bet you not many people know that. It hasn't been brought up yet in the media. That's crazy. Great find. Great find. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. I love our discussions. Talk to you later.